And I've forgotten chat again. Maybe one day there will be a day where I remember chat. I also forgot to get lo-fi. Alright, chat acquired. Now I need lo-fi. Lo-fi, but awesomer. Turn that bitch down. Alright, that one should be good levels-wise. Now I need to announce in the Discord. That's everyone. Copy link. Invent a fish 5. Now. Alright. I got it all done in time. It wasn't pretty, but I did it. I am streaming with the correct title, right? Invent a fish 5. Nice. Hi, Will Smith from Team Cherry. You are early. Oh, now you are no longer early. And send the notification. It's always the Dutch flag first. Gotta give props to whether, I don't know if it's Seagull or Kermit, but they are always first. I think it's Seagull. Always the first person to every announcement. Hi, Ender. Hi, Tough Unicorn.
Poggers.
Smudgy Rabbit, Pleb Zero, Saxy Sharky, thank you very much. Pleb Zero and Saxy Sharky, I appreciate it.
Poggers.
Let's go.
Invent a fish! Yeah, it's invent a fish time. Does that lighting look better? Oh, I fucked up the lighting. Does that lighting look better? I'm not a lighting expert. That one looks nice, though. I don't hate that lighting. How you guys doing?
Poggers.
Invent a fish.
Hi, Drag. Welcome. Welcome to Invent a Fish, everybody. It is time to invent some fish. Well, I suppose the fish have already been invented. And now we'll find out who made the top 16. Hi, Krugerdom. Alright, let me pull up everything that I'm going to be needing.
Fish time.
Protoloon. Long time no see. I mean, not that long, but too long, because I like seeing you. How you doing? Alright, let me get the bracket up. I got the slideshow up. What else do I need? I was waiting for this the entire week. Oh, well, I'm glad it's finally here for you. Not bald. Very clearly have hair there, so I don't know what you're talking about. Just a buzz cut. You guys don't seem to know the difference, but it's just a buzz cut. Make sure Jax doesn't win. Didn't Jax get banned from the Discord? I don't think any of Jax's posts made the top 16, so I think we're okay. I feel like I would remember if they did. Yeah, I don't think there's any Jax posts in the top 16. I'm looking now. Alright. Look like we came out of the military. Alright, man. Fuck you. What else do I need? Oh, I need the Twitch poll, because if you guys didn't know, during Invent a Fish, you guys make all the decisions. I've chosen the top 16 fish, which I think were the 16 best submitted fish. But from here, it is totally up to you guys. You choose who's going to win every single round democratically by voting. So let me get the Twitch poll me overlay open. And let me test that this works. Test. Testes. Show up on screen? Perfect. All right. We are ready to go for Invent a Fish then. I know you guys will be able to vote. I was just making sure it showed up on screen. All right. Shall we go about revealing our awards and our top 16? Are you guys ready? Or do we have something else to talk about? View. Why can't I find present? Is it view slideshow? Oh, it is view slideshow. It is time. Why is the camera like this? This one's bad. Hold on, let me fix this. You gotta be able to see my head. Kind of defeats the purpose if you can't see my head. It is time. Oh, everyone got an ad? Okay, alright, well, we'll wait a minute till the end of the ad, because everyone got an ad. That's funny. Shout out Twitch. No stream without technical difficulties? There's no technical difficulties. Ads are intended. But it is really funny that the moment I pulled up Invent a Fish... Hey, everyone who subbed, pretend like there's something really funny happening right now. Everybody write Omega lol. Everybody write lol or oh my god, that's so funny. So that everyone who's getting ads thinks that they're missing something. I love this bit. That's my favorite bit. Making the people who have the ads feel like they're missing something. Aw, someone said, what's the joke? What is it? I can't see.
Wow, fish time.
Wow, fish time. All right. Thank you, Chad. All right. Are you guys ready for Invent a Fish 3? I mean 5. Invent a Fish 5. This is me, by the way, if you didn't know. Rosemary made this. I don't have that long of hair anymore. So this was drawn before I cut my hair. But this is me jumping up and down. Very cute. All right. It is time for Invent a Fish 5. I keep forgetting what number Invent a Fish it is. I'm gonna get going. If you guys have never seen an Invent a Fish before, basically what happened is all of my viewers have come together to invent the best possible fake fish that they can think of. Habitats, ecosystems, niches that they fill, complicated drawings and diagrams are all being submitted to this competition. And it is up to me and Soph to choose the 16 best submissions, which will face off in a bracket voted on by chat to decide what is the best fish that was submitted to this competition, the best invented fish. But if you don't know, we don't decide the whole thing democratically. When we get to the final 2 fish, the 2 best fish in the competition, the winner is decided completely by luck, by a game of marbles. All right, let's begin. So the first thing we do is we talk about some awards. Now these fish might have won awards and they might be in the actual top 16, or they might have won awards and they're not in the top 16. Either can happen. So if you see a fish here, congratulations if it's your fish. But don't be discouraged and think that your fish might not be in the top 16. Still possible. The awards change every time. This time we have most effort. Of course, the most effort is a common award. This happens just about every time. Flacco, stop spamming or I'll ban you. But you guys can spam AVNJ poggers in general. That's fine. The first award is most effort. And this is because we get a lot of very high effort posts. And in fact, as we have gone on, the posts have gotten more and more high effort. So the first competition, I think there was maybe one person who submitted a Google document. Most of the submissions were just drawings. This competition, almost every submission had a supporting document with maps and diagrams and anatomical stuff going on. So there was a lot going on this time. And of course, that makes it hard to decide the most effort. But what I decided was the highest effort post was this, a brief and concise guide to the hitchhiker dogfish. Now this is by The Whisperer, and it is a downloadable not even Google Doc, it is a downloadable Word document. And let me show you this Word document. This is no normal Word document, okay? It has a table of contents. It has 15 pages with an overview, taxonomy and phylogeny, body and anatomy, talking about all the different things going on within it. It's biology, it's behavior, it's human impacts and how the humans are impacting it. This is a full-on speculative evolution project. Like, this is something that would be submitted to some kind of speculative evolution project. So this one had a ton of effort go into it. The fish itself is somewhat interesting, though not particularly unique, but it is kind of interesting. And there is a lot of just so much effort and information, and I felt that I had to, of course, recognize the amount of effort that went into that. So thank you, The Whisperer. Our second award is the Nepotism Award, which is the I wouldn't normally include this, but my friends made it, so I'd feel bad if I didn't include it award. And this is, of course, created by Robo and Justin, and this is the spiky bomb fish. Let me move my face for you guys. Here you go. Now my face is on the other side, and you can see. It's the spiky bomb fish. Robo and Justin created it, and I had to give them the Nepotism Award because I would feel bad not including them at all. So they got the Nepotism Award. All right. Thank you, Liviana Kasai, for the raid. All right. Yes, it is a little bit of favoritism. I have favorites. Sue me. Next up, we have our favorites. So when Soph and I went through all of the submissions, all of the possible submissions to Invent a Fish, we had to choose what are our favorite two. What was my favorite and what was Soph's favorite. And Soph's favorite, unsurprisingly, was called the Bubble-Cheeked Mud Skipper. Let me go ahead and adjust the crop slightly for you. It's called the Bubble-Cheeked Mud Skipper. And the Bubble-Cheeked Mud Skipper is just very cute. I mean, I don't think anyone is surprised. Soph coined the term sweet booby. And so she obviously enjoys very cute things. And it shouldn't be surprised at all that an extremely cute mud skipper would become her favorite choice. This is the document that was attached to them. Let me make sure I don't spoil anything here. Okay. Very cute little fish with bubble cheeks. Basically those bubble eye goldfish, but as a mud skipper. All right, then we have my favorite fish. This was my favorite submitted fish. Like I said, any one of these could be in the top 16. We don't know what made the top 16 yet. My favorite is Captain Stroon's Romero's Remora. And this one had a lot of information going on. But the basic idea is it's a group of remoras that get together in a circle. So those remoras, which attach themselves onto sharks, basically gather in this circular formation and live symbiotically with each other. There's a lot more information on that, so feel free to read as you'd like to. So I really enjoyed this one. And with that, we have the honorable mentions. Now, these are the ones that just barely didn't make top 16. So if you don't know how it works, basically we'll assemble like the top 30 or so picks, basically anyone we think could make top 16. And then we go through and one by one eliminate ones that we think probably won't be in the top 16. And so these are the last two submissions eliminated. So these were basically 17th and 18th, the honorable mentions. So the first one is by Amy. This is the Goliath Goldfish. Amy had two really good submissions, but this one we liked a good amount. Let me make this crop less extreme. There we go. This one is just very pretty. I mean, there's nothing particularly interestingly unique about them other than that they're big goldfish and they have the moss and everything, which is I think why they didn't end up making the top 16, but they are very pretty. So thank you, Amy, for the submission. And then our second runner-up is called the Luminant Lamprey. This one I just particularly found somewhat interesting. It's just a type of lamprey that looks like a Pokemon. I mean, it looks like a fucking Porygon or something. It resembles a Pokemon more than it does anything else, and I just think it's super cute. So this was one of the last ones eliminated, so this is also one of the runner-ups. And that leaves us with the top 16. So these are the 16 invented fish from this time around that will be competing head-to-head in the bracket to decide the winner of this 4-month stretches. I don't know how long it's been since the last invented fish. This stretches best invented fish. So our first member of the top 16 is called Deep Sea Life of the Great Divide. Now this one's really interesting. You might be looking at these pictures and saying, well, that's a little weird. I wonder how this one made it in. Well, that's because this one was extremely unique. This entire document is basically 10 pages of a horror story. and it guides you through with basically documentation like you would have in Subnautica, voice lines. There's an entire story that guides you through, images to keep you entrenched in the story. Talks about the different families and the actual science of it as you move deeper down into the water, the weird and scary things you're seeing, and ends with a jump scare. Kind of a jump scare, but just a very creepy thing. And this one was just really unique. I had never seen something like this before. This was the first time I had seen someone submit what is essentially a horror story mixed with a invented fish. I thought it was a cool idea. It's perfect for Halloween, and I had never seen anything like it. So I figured they deserve to be in the top 16. We'll see if you guys like the idea of the horror story fish. It does remind me of Iron Long. Hi, Sunday. Hi, Oval. All right, our second member in the top 16 is the Electric Dust Delver. Now, this one's really cool. I really just like the idea. It's basically sort of like a stargazer type monkfish thing. And of course, it has a Google Doc because all of them have Google Docs. And it sits under in the mud, and its whiskers have electricity. And so they look sort of like a kelp on the thing, and the fish will swim in between it and then get electrocuted, which I thought was a really cool and interesting idea. So I included that one in the top 16.
Poggers.
Thank you,
2 months of
Skirmigal
chubbies.
Flop. Let me fix that so I can see chat again. Thank you, Skirmigal Flop. All right, the next one we have is The Myth by Nick Y. Now, this one didn't have anything insanely interesting about it, but I really love the design. Just like the way this is drawn, and these color morphs are just really sick. Like if I'd had to design a really cool fish, I feel like this one here would be probably the coolest fish that I could think of. So they're highly social animals. They've got some cool stuff about them you can read about in the document, but these are very pretty. And I liked the design, so I included them. Sue me. The next one is, again, a unique art style. So this is, I believe it's watercolor. It's clearly not done digitally. This is done clearly on a canvas of some sort. And it is the Giant Land Angler. So there's a couple things I like about this. It is from the future, for one, and it's just a cool art style. Usually we just get a bunch of cool digital art, and while digital art is really awesome, I think it's super cool to have some people who are, making art in other ways. Like we've seen videos, we've seen sculptures, now we've seen like a story told through a fish, and a watercolor. I think it's a watercolor. I don't know. I'm not very good at art, but I really love the style. So that's Veggie Nuggets. Sorry, I'm covering Veggie Nuggets' name. It's hard to not cover something, but Veggie Nugget down there, congratulations on making the top 16. Then we have the Dionysus Shark by Mothman. Now this one has, more than a Google document. It has a 12-page presentation. Overview, sexual dimorphism, adolescence, dietary habits, adaptive history, including a diagram of the skull, nomenclature. So there's a lot of information on this this Dionysus shark. They're super cool. They have basically pearlescence in their scales, which causes them to sparkle. Only the males have that, which is, I think sexual dimorphism isn't particularly common in sharks, so it's actually an even more unique thing that it's in a shark. So I thought that one was particularly cool, and there was a lot of information. Next up, we have the deep sea fish mimic. I just like this one. This drawing, I just think is super sick. The idea of being in that tiny submarine, and there's this gigantic, gorgeous fucking, it looks kind of like this looks like the head of a viper fish, but then it's put onto this really long giant body with a ton of really cool fins. This is done by Neo Yin. Once again, I am covering the name, I'm sorry, but Neo Yin. We'll talk about it more. Star Wars Episode 1 vibes. I haven't seen Star Wars, so I can't concur, but if you think it has Star Wars vibes, then that's fine. All right, the next fish is called the Pitfall Ray Galaxy. So this one is a manta ray combined with carnivorous plants. So it's some sort of like scientific genetics mixing, which shouldn't be mixed. So the wings on the manta ray, that's me. The wings on the manta ray are Venus flytraps. So in addition to being a filter feeder through its mouth like a normal manta ray, its fins are also able to filter feed. So extra filter feeding, but this one could probably eat larger things because they're like Venus flytraps. So this one could probably eat meat like a carnivorous plant. So I thought this one was super sick. Then we have the Ostia saxum. Now this one reminds me a lot of, and I think it's probably designed off of one of the things you would find in Ark. One of those little papers that would come up when you opened a chest in Ark. I think this one is really good. I just love the design. I mean, the fish itself is obviously cool. But just the design of the sheet and everything is just fucking awesome. It's so cool. I just love like the idea of this like document. Like it looks like, I wish all like fish describing books looked like this. You know what I mean? Like I have Peterson's Field Guide to Fish over there, and it's just like black and white pages with like basic shitty descriptor text in Times New Roman. I wish I could open like the world of fishes and have all of them described and drawn like this so beautifully. All right, next up we have a submission by Feld. This is the Red Tide Swallow Shark. So it's a pretty cool shark, and there is, of course, a Google Doc, because there's almost always a Google Doc now. You have its area in the dead zone around the... Is this the Gulf of Mexico? Oh my god, I was assuming this was the Mediterranean the entire time I was reading this. So I would guess around the Gulf of Mexico. There's different color variants between the males and females. It's got all sorts of cool things going on. If you didn't know, red tide is basically like a large eutrophication, a large algal bloom. These guys are involved with that. So I thought that one was very pretty. I'm not sure how many we have left. I haven't been counting how many I've revealed. I guess when I have no more to reveal. This one is called the Shell Thief, and this one is just adorable. I think this guy fills this year's adorable, or this competition's adorable fish award. Their range is essentially everywhere. I don't even know why they need a range map. This is like every single place in the world. And as you'd expect, they live inside of shells, similar to how hermit crabs would do. But they're eels, which makes sense. They can fit inside the shells really well. Then we have Nighthair's submission. Soph shooed this one in because she thought it was very pretty. It's basically a whale shark mixed with a manta ray, and then it's got all these crazy color morphs. So I had a feeling you guys would like this one and vote for it. This is all of the information. Nighthair did not provide a ton of information. So we don't know anything about particularly unique adaptations or anything like that. All we know is that a manta ray was mixed with a whale shark, and that's what we have now. Who cares it's cute? I don't know, it's up to chat. Chat did not vote for the FWOP last time, and everybody loved the FWOP. Everyone wouldn't shut up about the FWOP and how cute it was, and it lost in like the second round. So I think some people value adaptability over cuteness. Next up, we have another art style. I wanted to include one that was black and white drawn with a pencil, and this one was the coolest by far. I really love this one by Doodlebug. This is the scorpion eel. It's just such a sick drawing. I love these. I love black and white. I just have a soft spot for sketch stuff. So the scorpion eel is pretty cool. It's an eel with, you know, as you would expect, a scorpion tail with venom, like those have. So just another art style to throw in there. Then we have the mossy stargazer. So stargazers, if you don't know, they're pretty common around me. They're common all around the East Coast, actually probably all around the world. They're the guys that sit on the bottom and look up and are super creepy, and they're always in like the top 10 scariest or most dangerous fish videos. And this guy has adapted to blend in with his environment. He's green, and he's got all of the things growing on him, and then he has a symbiotic relationship. Oh, that's me again. Symbiotic relationship with something called a defender crab. And the defender crab, well, as you would expect, defends the mossy stargazer. So pretty cool. There's a lot of information on this guy. I can't even fit it all. You guys are starting to submit so much information that I can't submit it. I can't fit it in one slide, which is a problem. Like, I need to be able to fit the things on the slides. After that, we have, of course, Romero's Remora. Although this was my favorite fish, this is also, of course, going to be a top 16 fish. I mean, this one's fucking amazing. There's no reason this would not be in the top 16. So this will also be participating. Then we've got the Stratum Ray. Now this guy has another presentation, another 11 page PowerPoint presentation. This guy lives on Jupiter's moon. I believe it's Jupiter's largest moon, Europa. And the fish, it basically has the genetics from Arctic fish, which have these things in their blood, antifreeze proteins in their blood, which make it so that their blood doesn't freeze, and that's how they live in these freezing cold Arctic waters. And it has that, and it lives on Europa's moon, and it practices chemosynthesis, like a lot of microorganisms do at the hydrothermal vents at the bottom of our oceans. Pretty cool. Then, this is our final for the top 16. We have the thermal blade eel from Questioning Lemon Shark. I like the Latin name, Calidum ferrum. It's just a super sick eel, which uses electricity to heat a plate on the front of its head and fin. So you know those like really satisfying videos where they heat a knife up until it's like magma and then like cut through something that they shouldn't be able to cut through? This eel can basically do that. And that rounds out our top 16 fish, folks. We have our... Oh, I did the thing again. We have our 16 best submissions here in the top 16. And we have our bracket. It's time to see what's going on in the bracket. So, our seeds have been randomly decided. So who faces what is decided almost entirely randomly by the seeding chart. And now we have to vote until we get down to the final two. So we're going to start off here with the voting with the Pitfall Ray Galaxy versus the Electric Dust Delver. Who wins? Pitfall Ray Galaxy. Whoops. Electric Dust Delver. And don't worry, I will put them both back on screen. You can vote 1 or 2 to decide which one you like. Let me put them both back on screen. This is the Pitfall Ray Galaxy. It's the Manta Ray, which has the Venus flytraps for wings. And the Electric Dust Delver is the fish that sits on the bottom and has those kelp-like whiskers, which allow it to shock the things above it and eat them. So you guys will decide. I think we'll see how many people are voting, and based on that, we'll decide when we're going to stop votes, like what amount of votes. Seems like maybe 100 is the right amount. Well, actually, it's still going up decently. We'll see. So it is this fish versus this fish. The loser is out. There is no losers bracket. Keep in mind. So you are voting which one will move on and which one will be eliminated, unfortunately. All right, I think we'll stop at 100 votes every time. If we can get to 100 votes every time, that would be perfect. Your vote does not count twice. Once you vote the first time, that is your vote, and you cannot change it or do it again. So unfortunately, it seems like the Pitfall Ray Galaxy will be eliminated. Congratulations to the Electric Dust Delver for moving on to the next round. Let me go ahead and move this over here. I have to start the tournament. Whoopsies. My bad. Hello? Okay. Challenge is being annoying. While challenge is being annoying, we can run the next one, I guess. Hello? Challenge? Alright. Oh, never mind. There it goes. Okay. Pitfall Ray Galaxy loses to the Electric Dust Delver. Alright, next up we have... Oh, this is a tough one. Stratum Ray versus Romero's Remora. Who wins? I'm going to copy paste this. I don't have to type it every time. Romero's Remora versus Stratum Ray. And let me remind you guys which both of these are. So Romero's Remora is, of course, this beautiful artwork with the remoras that gather in a circle pattern like this. And the Stratum Ray is, of course, the 11-page PowerPoint about the ray which lives on Europa, Jupiter's moon. So those are the two that you're deciding between. This guy here and this guy, they're right next to each other in the competition. Wow, we got to 100 much faster this time. Maybe I'll let it run a little bit longer. It's pretty close. So I think if we get to 100 and there's still votes coming in, it's pretty close. I'll run it a little bit longer. It does seem like the Remora is going to win, though. Unless a bunch of Stratum Ray believers come in right about now. Yep, I think Romero's Remora is going to take this one. That is an unfortunate first round, but it had to happen eventually. Only one can win the competition. Seems that the Stratum Ray will be the one eliminated, unfortunately. Thank you for the submission, Gima. Which means that Captain Struen's Romeo or More. Captain Struen, a frequent competitor in this competition, I believe has submitted a fish to every single Invent a Fish competition and usually does pretty well. Captain Struen is a really talented artist. Next up, we have the clash of the interesting art styles. The giant land angler versus the deep sea life of the Great Divide. Giant land angler, deep divide. So this is, of course, the horror story fish, which guides you through, I believe it is, 10 pages of a horror story with documentation and voice lines and an entire story with the drawing of the fish, versus the, I believe it's watercolor drawing of the giant land angler. So you guys are deciding between art styles here. We've got a fish that is told through story. We don't even really know what it looks like. We just know the horror story around it, versus this futuristic, amazing paint drawing here. I love the idea of 2, but I love the art style for 1. I agree. I do think that the idea of the just storytelling through a fish is really unique. I mean, I get hundreds of submissions every time I do this competition. I think this is the first time I've had a fish submitted through story. I think this is the first time I've had a fish submitted that we don't even really know what it looks like. Like, we're voting for a fish that we don't even have a good concept of. Like, this is the best picture provided, basically, of the fish. This, I guess, is a better picture as well, but it's very interesting. But it does seem like the story will win out over the giant land angler. So thank you for the submission of the giant land angler, but congratulations. The deep divide will move on. The great divide will move on. Next up, we have the... Okay, this is a classic. This is more what we expect from the Invent a Fish competitions. We have the Myth versus the Mossy Stargazer. So this is... Let me go ahead and delete that slide. We have the Myth, which is the multiple colored manta ray looking guys that are really cool, versus this Stargazer, which has the ability to blend into the bottom. I have a feeling I know what you guys are going to go with just based on cuteness, but we'll see. Both are options at this moment. Myth, of course, I'll open the document just for more information. Wingspan of 12 to 18 feet. They've got these different patterns on their body. They're very social animals, but can reproduce asexually. And the Mossy Stargazer, go ahead and pull this up, mainly off the coast of North America. The Defender Crab is interesting. I wanted to look more at the Defender Crab. It's a relative of the Boxer Crab, a species of carries sea anemones that wards off predators with its claws. Interesting. So the only conflict I can see is the whole point of a Stargazer is you're kind of supposed to blend in and hide.
But here am, and now take my sub.
Thank you, Fossil God. As a Stargazer, you're kind of supposed to blend in and hide to ambush prey. So having a crab always on top of you might kind of defeat the purpose of being a camouflaged fish. But it seems like what I'm saying doesn't matter anyways. You guys have voted for the Myth without even needing my input. So congratulations to the Myth for moving on. All right, next up we've got the Deep Sea Fish Mimic versus Osteosaxum. Oh, this is a tough one. On the right, once again, they're right next to each other. Why does that keep happening? I didn't even put them in order. Osteosaxum versus Deep Sea Mimic. So this is the archetype artwork with this gorgeous gigantic fish versus this awesome viper, giant extended viper mythical creature. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these won the competition. So the fact that they are facing off in the first round is rough, but that is how random seeding goes. We'll see if it's as close as I think it's going to be. I mean, it's fairly close, but it's less close than I thought. Osteosaxum, the archetype drawing, does seem to have a good advantage. It's interesting because I feel like if this person drew the same thing, but did the information like this, they might win. Like, this fish is cooler necessarily, but just the amazing artwork that goes into having like a document page like this would probably give it the win. All right. It seems like the Deep Sea Mimic has lost. Thank you, Neo Yin, for the submission. An Osteosaxum by the Real Val will move on.
Sorry, this is from a previous fish, but the land angler's art style reminded me of Le Petit Prince, and I think that's really cool.
I know exactly what you're talking about. All right. Osteosaxum will be moving on. Next up, we have the Shell Thief versus the Dionysus Shark. I'll go ahead and start the poll while that figures out its thing. So this is, if you do not remember, the Dionysus Shark has the 12-point PowerPoint about everything about the shark. It has the glittery scales. It's a shark, hammerhead type shark with glittery scales, versus the Shell Thief, which is this little eel guy that lives in snail shells. Little funky eel guy for the win, says Sunday. But unfortunately, it does not seem like the majority agree with them. Oh, well, actually, Shell Thief is catching up, but the Dionysus Shark, I think, is probably going to maintain the lead here. Does this go off the page? I didn't even realize this. The image of the shark goes off the page here. That's funny. Yep, it seems like the Dionysus Shark, I mean, putting in the effort is going to get you the results a lot of the time. We do sometimes live in a capitalist society, and having a 12-page document will beat out these 2 pages of information, even if the concept isn't necessarily better. And that is unfortunately how it is. Congratulations to the Dionysus Shark on this one. All right. The next one up is the Red Tide Swallow Shark. I'm just going to put up Swallow Shark versus the Manta Whale. They didn't really give it a name, so I'm calling it the Manta Whale. So this is the Manta Whale, and this is Swallow Shark. Once again, they are next to each other. This continues to happen. So the Red Tide Swallow Shark, basically a shark thriving in the area where there's frequently large algal blooms in the red tide, versus the Manta Whale, which you guys all said had to win because it was so cute. But where are the votes now, chat? Where are the votes now? You said this fish had to win because it was so cute, and now none of you are voting for it. Interesting. It's almost like you lie. It's almost like you don't mean the things that you say. Actually, Manta Whale making a bit of a comeback here. Perhaps people coming out of ads and deciding to vote for the Manta Whale. It's almost like chat gaslit Zach again. I have never been gaslit by chat. All right. Seems pretty clear at this point. The Swallow Shark is going to take down the Manta Whale. Despite all of your big talk about how the Manta Whale was going to win because you value cuteness more than productivity, the same amount of people voted in this one as they always do, and it was a loss. Goodbye to the Manta Whale. All right, and then our final match of the first round is 2 eels facing off in 2 very different art styles. We've got the Thermal Blade Eel versus the Scorpion Eel. I will pull those up to remind you guys what they look like. So this is the Scorpion Eel, this sketch drawing, versus this very nice digital drawing of the eel that heats up to cut through stuff like a hot knife. These are the 2 of them. Go back and forth a few times. Oh, wow. I didn't expect there to be such a clear preference for the sketch drawing. Usually people prefer these like clean digital drawings over these sort of rough sketch drawings. Not that it's rough in a bad way, but like, you know, the lining isn't as clean as a digital drawing because it's so easy to do this. But it seems like you guys have a very clear preference for the Scorpion Eel, which I was not expecting. So congratulations. I think this is the first time a sketch drawing has made it to the second round. And with that, we have decided our top 8. Our top 8 fish here. They will now compete 4 different matches to determine the top 4 fish of the competition, which will be the last time that you guys get to vote. Someone in chat just said, please vote France, and posted the Thailand flag. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just funny. Alright, next up, we have the Electric Dust Delver versus Romero's Remora. Electric Dust Delver, Romero's Remora. This is going to be a tough one. You guys really like the Dust Delver. Of course, this is the fish, which sits below and has the electric whiskers. And it is facing off against the Romero's Remora, this beautiful grouping of Remoras where each one is stuck onto the one next to it, which is stuck onto the one next to it. It's sort of a human centipede created with Remoras. It's a little bit horrifying, but also kind of sick. But you guys do seem to like the Dust Delver, huh? That's interesting. I didn't expect this one to have such a fan base. But you guys really do like the Dust Delver. Interesting. Well, Romero's Remora, my favorite fish, the one that I had predicted to win the competition because I thought it was the coolest by far, and I really love Captain Stroon's drawings, has unfortunately been eliminated. Congratulations to the Dust Delver, moving on to the top 4. Well, this is why I'm glad I don't have to vote, because I would have picked against the majority of people. Alright, next up we've got Deep Sea Life versus the Myth. Now this is, wow, this is two very different submissions here. We've got the Myth, which is quite literally just an asexual social manta ray with cool patternings, versus an entire horror story around a fish, which still has not been fully visually revealed. This is two very different submissions. Once again, you guys claimed the Myth was going to win because of its cuteness. We'll see if that holds up, but this is definitely the closest one so far. Oh my god, it's 50-50 at 90 votes. This is, oh, at 102 votes, it was dead even in terms of votes. Oh, I'm going to have to leave this one for a little bit. It is way too close to call. If you have not voted yet, oh my god, it's 50-50 at 112 votes. If you have not voted yet, now is the time to vote. Even if you haven't voted in anything, or even if you don't care, you have the power right now. Even if you don't care who wins, you can change something that 118 people have voted for. 120 people have voted, and your vote could be the one that decides who wins. Oh man, with the extra final 3 votes, Deep Sea Life takes a decent lead. 122. I'll stop it at 125 if it's not even. 3 more votes. Who hasn't voted? Sunday held their vote until last minute, and I believe that's going to put it out of reach for the Myth. I think the Deep Sea Life horror story... Oh, yep, it's out of reach for Deep Sea Life, for the Myth. Unfortunately, the cute one has lost again, and despite everything that you guys have said, the cute fish loses once again. Congratulations to the Deep Sea Life, really unique concept, and is making it way further than I thought it would. I was not expecting it to make it this far, but it's doing quite well. Alright. That sets up an interesting semifinal. I don't know how you guys are going to choose between your 2 favorites over there, but you'll have to make do, I guess. Next up, we have Osteosaxum versus the Dionysus shark. Now, this is interesting. I mean, they all get interesting as you go along in the competition, but what we're dealing with here, keep in mind, is the arc drawing, this beautiful arc imagination art, versus the 12-page or 12-slide PowerPoint about the glitter shark. Now, this glitter shark, I did not expect to make it this far to win a first round. Who did it win against first round? Against the Shell Thief? I mean, I still think that's an upset. I have a feeling the Osteosaxum is going to probably win this one, though. But we'll see. It is looking pretty one-sided for the Osteosaxum right now. Keep in mind, chat, I didn't really mention it, but the prize, if you get first place, is you get free merch from my store. My wonderful Teespring store. Is it this one? No. Is it this? It's somewhere on there. Hey, let me pull it up for you guys so that you guys can see the wonderful... socials, merch. If you win the competition, you get to pick any merch of your choice from my store. All of these wonderful designs to add to your collection. That is the prize that these guys are competing for. And it looks like the Osteosaxum is one step closer to doing so. Congratulations, the Osteosaxum. Rip the Dionysus shark. All right, and we have one more competition for our top 4. We have the swallow shark versus the scorpion eel. Once again, clash of 2 very different art styles. Scorpion eel versus swallow shark. All right. Scorpion eel, of course, being this sketch drawing of the large, cool eel with the scorpion tail attached to it. And the swallow shark, of course, being the shark in the Gulf of Mexico that is capitalizing off of red tides, which are frequently happening here around Louisiana with algal blooms. Makes some really gross oceans, and this guy is dealing with it. But this guy looks cool and is sketched. This would be by far the furthest a sketch has ever made it an Invent-A-Fish. I don't think a sketch has ever won a round in Invent-A-Fish, and you guys are setting this scorpion eel up to make its way into the top 4. Very interesting. Shark is very cute, though, and very well designed, and has a multiple page document.
Scorpion eel is one of my faves.
Interesting. All right. It is not rigged. It is completely democratic. You can go back through the VOD and count every single vote in the chat if you would like to do so. And if you did that, you would come to the exact same conclusion that my poll did, which is that the scorpion eel has won over the swallow shark. Thank you to Feld for submitting the swallow shark. You are influencing the polls. That doesn't make it rigged, bro. Congratulations to Scorpion Eel for moving to the top 4. All right. Now we are deciding our top 2. The winner of this will face off in a completely random game of marbles to decide who is the winner of this Invent-A-Fish. The loser is out of the competition. All right, and our first one up is you guys' 2 favorites, the Dust Delver versus the Deep Sea Divide.
His favorite lost Wime.
Yeah, my favorite lost in the first or second round. If I was rigging it, I think I'd be doing a little bit of a better job. All right, so just as a reminder, here are what you are voting for. You have this guy, this Dust Delver that you guys love the idea of sitting under the ground and electrocuting the fish as they come by, versus the well-written horror story involving the fish. No bias here. I'll flip back and forth between them over and over again, so you can't say I'm influencing the poll. It is 50-50 at 80 votes. Oh, it's getting a little bit less close. The Dust Delver kind of moving away with the lead here. Dust Delver voters were holding out until into the late rounds to get their votes counted. In the end of the day, it doesn't matter, but if you're trying to influence the polls in a certain way, you can do so. Add everyone, yo vote. All right, it seems like, unfortunately, though the horror story was a really interesting idea for a submission, and I look forward to hopefully seeing more unique submissions like that in the future. It seems like the Dust Delver, and I would have never expected this, is going to be moving on to the top 2 to compete. I would have never expected this.
Both look like SCPs.
And that means that there's only one vote left, chat. This is the last thing you get to vote on until the next Invent-A-Fish, and that is the Osteosaxum versus the Scorpion Eel. So vote carefully. Think hard and vote carefully, because you will not get to vote again. This is your last vote. After this, everything is decided by RNG. Osteosaxum, the beautiful arc type drawing, versus the sketch Scorpion Eel, which for some reason has a cult following behind it. It's a pretty close vote as well. You can tell that things worked out pretty well because both of the semi-final votes have been really close votes. Saving the vote for later is not going to do anything. Your vote counts just as much if you do it at the beginning as it does if you do it at the end. The only thing I can think that it would mean something is that if you vote early, maybe other people vote against you so that it evens out the odds because people like seeing it be close. But we are at 113 votes here, and it seems like the Scorpion... Oh, it's getting closer. I'll give it another minute. This is your chance. You can decide who makes the top 2, chat. This is your last chance to vote today. If you have not voted today, this is your chance. This is your only chance left. One more vote comes in, and it is for the Scorpion Eel, but then another vote comes in for Osteosaxum. We're going to need 3 people to vote for Osteosaxum here if we want an even game. First vote has come in. It's tied at 118 votes. It's tied at 120 votes. 121 votes. The Scorpion Eel is barely ahead. 122. The Scorpion Eel has taken another bit of a lead. All right, 125. I'm done at 125. 3 people, if you have not voted yet, put your vote in. Oh, at 125, the Scorpion Eel looks like it's gonna take it. Oh, and it goes up. 3 more votes come in. 4 more votes come in. The Scorpion Eel still in the lead. I could wait one more. I could wait one more vote. If one more vote is Osteosaxum, then maybe we keep it going. The next vote is Osteosaxum. Maybe we keep it going. The next vote is Scorpion Eel. I think we gotta stop. One more vote, chat. Surely one of you still has your vote. Surely someone's sitting at home lurking and hasn't typed a number yet. Are we all out of votes? Has everyone here voted? Oh, there's the 130 votes. Oh no. Oh, and there comes in more unique votes. Scorpion Eel always ends up with just barely a lead. Just barely a lead. It is only 1 vote ahead right now. 1 more person has voted, and the Osteosaxum has taken the lead. The last minute voters all of a sudden have decided that they like the Osteosaxum. Oh no. Okay, 140 and I'm for sure done. 140 and I'm for sure done. 2 more votes, that's it. I believe if they're both for Scorpion Eel, it goes to a tie again. If the last 2 votes are both for Scorpion Eel, I believe it goes to a tie again. I believe that will be 70 votes to 70 votes. Oh, I think I'm wrong. I think it's impossible. I think the Osteosaxum has officially won this round. Wow, what a crazy last vote of the day. I'm going to go ahead and call it. It is 71 to 68 votes. Congratulations to the Osteosaxum. What an intense vote. The most votes we got by far, 139 votes. That is the most people that have ever voted in one of those, I think, by a good amount. So congratulations. Fair and square, gonna move on to the finals. And you know what that means, chat. You know what time it is, chat. Go ahead and get something set up, why don't we? You just call me a liar? What do you mean liar? What could I have done differently? I waited out as much as possible. The Scorpion Eel did not make it. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. The Scorpion Eel it wasn't cut out. It wasn't cut out for the big leagues, all right? But what is left is to decide the #1 invented fish. We have decided the top 2 democratically. Now it is time to decide the #1 very undemocratically. In fact, it's the opposite of democracy. It's pure random voting. I guess that's democracy of the numbers, right? You should have ended it at 125.
Marble run time. Also, my heart almost dropped to the floor, lol.
If you think I should have ended at 125, you're dumb. I want the most representation possible. With the most amount of people voting, the Scorpion Eel lost with the most amount of people. If I had ended it early and let the Scorpion Eel win, that would have been stupid and rigged. I let it go on as long as possible so that we got the most accurate result. All right, I'm logging into Marbles. Give me 1 second. Actually, I don't need to log into Marbles, do I? Because you guys aren't participating. I can do the thing, right? How do I do this thing? Add names. All right. Oh, that's right. Last time we did 10. Oh, and we put FWOP in once. I forgot about that. All right, let's go ahead and I'll show you guys. I'm not going to add FWOP. FWOP can't possibly win. Okay, fine. 1 FWOP. 1 FWOP. All right, then we've got our top 2, which are the Dust Delver and Osteosaxum. Osteosaxum. Go ahead and copy that. We're going to get 5 of those in there. This makes it a little bit more interesting so that one doesn't die right away. Dust Delver. We're going to get 5 of these in here. And we have 11 total participants. All that's left is to decide what we are going to do. On the Felt. Castle Siege is interesting. Love is in the Air. Is there a Halloween-themed one? Haunted Hills. Sounds awfully Halloween-y. Maybe we should do some Haunted Hills since it is Halloween. All right. Let me go ahead and get some... let me go ahead and get us some hype music. How about that? So that we can just watch this.
If Flop wins, him out.
All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to decide the winner of this competition? I don't know what's going to happen if Flop wins. I don't know what I'm supposed to do if that's going to happen, but we'll see. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. They all fall into the pot. Interesting. Where am I? I'm stuck in the pot. Okay, hold on. There we go. Wow, Dust Delver out to a really strong lead here. Look at this. What is going on? Wait, has it died? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Oh, Osteosaxum falling close behind it. Is that a bad thing? Where are they going? Some are on the track and some are just vibing into space here. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing that they're up here. I have to see. Oh, it's dead. It died. Oh, it was taken away. Okay, alright, so this is the top. Osteosaxum in first and second right now, but one of each has died.
If Flop wins, can you make a plush?
Maybe. Okay, they jump up to the top. We've got Dust Delvers coming in. We've got Osteosaxums. It is a close race. Swing around the cupboard here. Flop in... Is this first place for Flop? Hold on a minute. This can't happen. Flop wasn't even submitted to this competition. Okay. Flop, could you slow down, please? Flop, could you slow down? Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Wait. Surely no, right? Like, Flop can't win. Obviously, Flop can't win. Oh, Dust Delver might have a better angle here. Oh, it looks like Flop is no longer going to be in the lead. A lot of marbles getting a better angle around that corner. Osteosaxum and Dust Delver now head-to-head right against each other in the lead here. Oh, there's so many. Flop down to 6th place here. Oh, it could be either marble, Osteosaxum and Dust Delver, both. Coming around the last tube here to the end. All right on top of each other. Either one could win. It's looking like Osteosaxum has the lead, but it has a worse angle? They're both gonna hit the wall like that. It knocks it in? Oh, I thought Flop came in last minute and stuck it away. Holy shit, that was so close. Flop was inches away from making that. Can I get a replay on that? Flop came in hot and almost just stole it. Oh, that's crazy. Well, GG's everybody. Let me go ahead and knock that down and let's make it official, chat, shall we? Yeah, say it's rigged, whatever, fuck you. Let's make it official, alright? The Osteosaxum
Down with the democracy.
is officially the winner of Invent a Fish 5. Congratulations to the real Vol. I will DM you on Discord. I don't know if you're in chat. I haven't seen your name, but I will DM you on Discord to ask you what merch you want from my beautiful merch store. And you guys should all get merch too. All right, chat. That was today's Invent a Fish. Thank you very much for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. That will be it for today. I am going to go now. I am in Alaska this week, recording the likely last AVNJ's adventures of this year. So there will be an Alaskan AVNJ's Adventures, and that will be the last one this year probably. But next January I'll have another one, and I'll probably have one in February and stuff. So there's stuff going on. Thank you for coming. Thank you for participating. I hope you guys had a wonderful time, and congratulations to Osteo Saxum and to the Real Vol. Bye.